Hello everybody, Liz here with another craft. Today is Thursday the 13th of August 2020, in case you're watching this on a replay. Today we're going to take several items that I've gotten from Hobby Lobby and we're going to turn them into something unique. So I have bought this here when it was 75% off for $2.99. I took my heat gun and I loosened this up and then took it off. So we're going to use this little house looking thing there. Then I had these here that I gotten from Hobby Lobby. They were 99 cents and I bought several of them. So I took the hanger off of it. I put 2 coats of this acrylic, Anita's acrylic black paint on top of this, and then I used the stencil from my site, and I did put a link to it, and it comes 2 in a pack. It comes with these 2 in a pack, the overall polka dots and the overall small plaid. So I used the plaid on top of these. There's 3 of them. Before I put them all down together. And did white on top. Did the white chalk paste on top of these while they were all together. So what we're going to do with this here is we're going to put 2 coats of the Anita's black acrylic paint on it. Okay, well, kind of got that everywhere. And I did do around the edges also. Probably should have done those first. Well, actually, this is already black, so just make sure you touch it up. And then I'm going to use my heat gun to dry it. Hey Tracy, how are you today? We're just using some Hobby Lobby items, and we're going to turn it into different type of wall hanging. So all I've done so far is put a coat of black paint on this. And I don't think we need 2 coats because that looks pretty good. Just have one more spot that's wet. Okay, so we have these 2 pieces here. And who else do we have on? Melinda. Hi Melinda, how are you? Where are you from, Melinda? So I'm just going to lay these 2 down and we're going to use our polka dot stencil on top of both of those at the same time. So this is pretty worn. I've used it several times, but it still works. So I have my black on here, and then I'm going to use my white paste. And you want your chalk paste to be the consistency of yogurt or sour cream. So I'm just going to take my squeegee, and I did put a link in the description for the stencils that I'm using and the chalk paste. So if you do order something, please use my links to order. I do get a little percentage. And it doesn't cost you any extra. It would be the same as if you just went straight to the company and ordered it. But this way I get to keep crafting. So how's everyone today? The weekend is almost here. Although I'm retired, so every day is basically the same for me. Not to rub it in or anything, but I did retire just this year, so I'm very happy about that. What do you guys do? Okay, I just have a couple more dots to get here. We'll be finished with this part. Oh, and I forgot to say, if you like this video, please feel free to do this on your page so others can see it. Oh, Melinda's from South Central Louisiana. Oh, my daughter used to live in Louisiana. They were at Fort Polk. They're now in New Mexico, and they're going to be moving to California probably next month. He's in the Air Force. Okay, so I'm just going to put this face down in my water. Now, normally you would take your stencils to your sink, use your sprayer on them, and there is a cleaning sponge from Magnolia you can use, and that's also in my link. I mean, if you go to my page, you'll see it. So I'm going to dry these, but this is what it looks like. And I see a couple spots that I need to clean up a little bit, and I'll take care of that once I dry it. So I just have my heat gun here that we got from Harbor Freight. And Melinda's new on this page. Thank you, Melinda, for joining us. Hi, Alice. Alice is one of my wonderful followers. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Tracy, for joining us, and Melinda. Just happy to see everybody. Okay, so it's mostly dry, so I'm going to clean up this right here and possibly that right there. So I have a little scraper here. You can use a toothpick or just anything that will scrape it off. You could use a wipe. I'm just not as good with the wipe as I am this little pick thingy here. And we are going to stencil in red on top of this, so it doesn't matter too much. And I could use my black, a little bit of my black. Let's see. So this is what I have so far. Oh, thank you, Melinda. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my black and go over. Guess I didn't get enough. And go over this a little bit. Okay, I think that looks good. Here we go for that one. And this one, I'm going to clean up this one right there and that one right there just a little bit. then I'm going to put a little bit of the black on it. Okay, so this is the other one. Let's see what Alice is saying. I have one of those scrapers in my ceramics box. Thanks for the idea. Yes, Alice, I used to do ceramics back when we lived on Fort Meade, Maryland. They used to have a ceramic shop that we used to do. So I have several tools for my ceramics. That would be good for just crafting. So keep that in mind. You can always mix match your tools. I have some crochet items that I use, and I have some jewelry items, tools and stuff that I use. So yeah, you can always crisscross your tools. Okay, so what we're going to do is, let me get this a little bit right. There was a white spot on there. So I'm going to set these aside for a little bit, and then we're going to work on these. So we're going to put these together side by side. There's 3 of them. And I'm going to use my family stencil. Now, it's not even really sticky anymore, but it still works. So I'm going to just put my family stencil on here. Smooth it down. You have my red chalk paste, and then I have another squeegee. Now these are cut apart squeegees, so this is the full size. I cut this piece off of the other one, so I'm just going to get bunch of chalk paste on here, and then I'm going to just do the word family. And as you can see, I'm still on my phone camera. We still cannot get the other camera to work correctly. We even did updates on my computer, but it's still not working, so I don't know what we're going to do with it. Maybe my son can help me. He is a software tech person. So he's told us several things to do. We did everything, but it's still not working, so I don't know. And I'm going to go ahead and do these hearts too. There's 2 little hearts on the side. Okay, and I'm just scraping off the excess. And I'm going to do this. I'll see if I could do these other 2 hearts too. There's one right here, and then one over here. Make sure that I don't get the other words in there. Okay. I think that's good. So once I take this off, I'll show you guys, and I'm not gonna put this in the water because I'm gonna use the other word in a minute. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but all together it's family, and you could swipe the words out of the way if you can't see. And I'm just going to dry this a little bit. And then I'll show you what it looks like. I'll hold it up. The chalk paste dries pretty fast. Okay, so here's what we have. The F-A-M-I-L, and then the rest of it, the L-Y, and then I have the hearts. So we're going to set this aside, and then we're going to go back to our polka dotted houses. So we're going to put those together. I want to get them right. And then we're going to do the word together. So T-O-G-H-E-R, so the E-T is about the center. Just press that down. And I'm going to use this smaller piece of squeegee. And if you guys ever make any of anything, feel free to put your pictures on Liz's craft page. I really like to see what crafts other people are doing, and it doesn't have to be something that we've already done or I've done a video on. You could put whatever you want on there. I would love to see what you guys are doing. Okay. Put the lid on that. We are done with our chalk paste. I'm going to put those up. I'm going to take this off, and I'm putting this face down in the water. And then when I get done, I'm going to wash them. Once you wash them and get all the chalk paste off, you want to dry them with the sticky side up. Okay, so I'm just going to dry this real quick. Alright, that's dry. Put this paint up. Put this in the water. And put this up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we want to cover up this hole here. So to do that, we're going to use these pieces of, this right here is one of those cookie sheets, and you get 2 in a pack from the Dollar Tree. And I just cut the edges off, and then I use the strip. So I haven't cut one for this one yet. And what I did was I used 4. Where am I at? Yes, right here. So you see these little crinkles here? So I used 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I cut a strip. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I thought that would be a pretty good size for a tin roof for the houses. And don't worry about your scissors. I'm using an older pair of scissors, but it says if you use your scissors on this kind of stuff, it actually sharpens it. So what I did was I took it from the top edge here down to this right here, and then I'm letting it hang over a little bit, and then I just cut it just like that. And then to do the other one, I put this one on top of this one, and then I just cut it. And that's all there is to it. So we're going to hot glue these onto our houses. And I already have the other ones cut out. And I'm just going to put a strip of hot glue. Now, you need, and I don't know where my finger protector is. Oh wait, yes, here it is. So I am using a high heat hot glue gun, because to work on these metals and woods, it doesn't stick real well if you use the low heat. So I have my finger protector so I don't burn myself. Hi Holly, how are you? So I'm just going to put a line of glue along the edge, a little bit in, and then I'm going to line this up so that, well, it already stuck So it stuck before I could line it up, but that's okay. We're going to put this other piece on top of it. Where did it go? Okay. Let me make sure this is the right piece. Yeah, it's okay. I don't think it was exactly the piece I had, but anyway, it'll work. We'll make it work. So line it up on top of it before you actually lay it down. Okay. And there we have our tin roof. So we're going to do all of them that way. There's our second one. Just be careful because the tin does get hot. It's actually aluminum. So now we're going to do these other houses. You want to make sure you turn it the right way so that it's on there correctly. So very easy, but I thought it would be something good to cover the hole and make it look more like a house. Okay, there's another one. We got one left. I'm almost done with this. There we go. You want to make sure the longer edge is on the bottom. Okay, so there we have our houses. So what we want to do next is we're going to glue these onto a board. So I had this board that was laying on the front porch. Now, we're not exactly sure where this came from. I asked my husband, he didn't know. And this is actually just a piece of the board because it broke and it ripped. So I'm using the smaller piece of it, and he planed it for me. And then I was able just to screw these eyes, these metal eyes in there. I didn't even have to put a hole in it first or anything. In fact, this one went into one of these little holes, and I'm not sure what it is. I thought maybe this was wormwood, but I don't know. It was just some old wood sitting on the front porch. So this one had a hole right there, and I just screwed it right in, but this one, the board was soft enough to screw that in. So we're going to make a beaded hanger for this when we get done. So I'm going to add my houses, and I wanted it so this is like slanting down this way a little bit, so I wanted that to be my front. And I'm just going to figure out where I want to place my houses. And I want to space them a little bit apart. So we need to scoot it over a little bit. scoot this a little. So I wanted to line them up with the bottom of the board. So again, I'm going to move this over just a little bit. So it looks like a little community. Okay, I think that looks good right there. So I'm just going to take my glue gun, get me another piece of glue, and oops. So I'm only going across here and then down, and then across here, and then I'll put an X in the center. And then I'm going to line it up with the bottom, and I'm going to press it down and hold it just for a few seconds. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other piece. So I'm just going across this part right here because the top part is hanging over the board. And then I need my glue stick. And then I'll just put an X in the center. Lining it up on the bottom. And then I'm holding it down for a few seconds. So what is everybody going to do today? There's another project I want to work on, so I have to figure out how to do it. I'm waiting on my stencils. They were supposed to come yesterday, but when I looked at the tracking, it said it was delayed. So it didn't say when it would be delivered. So now we're going to do this one and the same thing. Since the board is increasing, I'm just going to put it up where this is squared off, put an X in the center. And then I'm just going to hold it down. Go to the next one. And hold it down. So Alice used to do ceramics. All my stuff always got broken. I have a frog left that holds, you know, like your scrubbies for your kitchen sink. And then I have a whale bank. And I think those are the only pieces I have left. My husband and my son, they were always doing something and breaking them. I think this needs a little bit more hot glue. The rest of them seem to be good. And this one maybe a little bit better. Boy, it's getting really hairy. Okay, so this is what we have so far. This is Together Family. Together Family. And now we're going to make a beaded hanger. So I just have this jute here that was from another project. And like I said, if you take hangers off, or this could have been from the grass skirt that we had used, just save pieces and then you can always use them for another project. So I have my beads here. Not quite sure which beads I'm going to use yet. So I'm just going to tie this. And if you didn't want it to do the hanger, you could just use this as a sitter, a shelf sitter. Like if you had a mantle, you could just sit that on your mantle. It sits up just like that. But I'm going to go ahead and put the hanger on it. So I'm just going to put this through the end of it, through the loop in the eye, and then I'm just going to tie a simple knot. And then I'm going to trim the end. So I just tied it on there, simple knot, just like that. And then I'm going to add my beads. Now, before I start adding my beads, I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on the end. You can use tape. I've done that before, and that works well too. But I don't have any tape over here, that kind of tape, so I'm just going to put glue on the end, and then I'm twirling it. And then this should make it very easy for me to put this through the beads. And now I just need to decide what beads I want to use. So I think I'm going to use some brown. That'll go with the wood. And then I'm going to use some white. I have several of these white beads. And then another brown one. I think that's what I'll do, just the brown and the white and the brown and the white. And I had actually, I got these beads here. They were on a, well, it was from the 4th of July. They had a, I don't know, what was a banner or something? Anyway, they had something that had the red and blue pom-poms on them, and then the beads. So that's where I got those beads. These beads here come in a pack of assorted ones, and I got from Hobby Lobby yesterday, and they were 50% off. And they were kind of in the jewelry section, or where the leather goods are. So I'm just doing one brown and then a white. It's a brown and a white. So I'm using a smaller brown one and then the bigger white one. And I was told you need to use even amounts of beads so that when you go to hang it on the wall, it will hang evenly. It'll hang in between the beads instead of on a bead. Okay, I'm going to see how long this is. Okay, not quite long enough. Probably need maybe 2 to 4 more beads. Let's see how that is. Yeah, I think that's good right there. So again, we're just going to thread this through the eye, the middle eye that we screwed in there. I'm going to try to get it tight, and then I'm just going to do a simple knot. Try to get it as tight as I can up against the bead. Okay, well there's a little space, and that's good because then you can hang it right in there. So I'm just going to tie one more knot in it. I'll trim that up. Let me do one more just for, and pull that tight, and then I'm just going to trim it up. Okay, and this is what we have. So I'll hang this on the wall, and I'll take a picture of it. But what do you think? Is this something you might do? And you want to make sure before you do, when you do your first layered stencil, you want to make sure it's dry before you do your next layer stencil. And if you paint first, you want to make sure that is dry thoroughly before you put your stencil on it, or else the paint's going to get on your stencil and it's going to clog up your holes. So that's what we have for today. This is our craft for today. And I'll be back here tomorrow at 11:30 with another craft. And like I said, if you like this one, please share. Sprinkle the love. Spread the love to others. I would appreciate it, and that's how Facebook keeps my videos out there. So until tomorrow, 11:30 Central, keep crafting. Bye.